Hi everyone, and welcome back to this channel here in the month of July of 2026. Guys, I hope you're doing well. I just want to give you a beautiful view over the create mortal here, these white flowers. Okay, so this is kind of my sacred corner. I sit here every day. It's the backyard here, and also just kind of wanted to mention what happened. That was the sunset of July the 4th. The sky was full of that very rich magenta pink, kind of darkish pink, magenta, orange sky. It was phenomenal, and I know that this kind of sky was also in other states or countries. And for me, to me there are these signs of the red kachina, and for me it's pretty much return of solar rishis, the cosmic Christos founder races. They're with us, and the freedom, right? The representation of the freedom energies, of course, has to do with America and the Statue of Liberty. So kind of that was the evening of July the 4th. Of course, I was taking it easy and just kind of lots of rest. Recalibration happening, because we're constantly rebalancing these energies, because we're still in constant kind of a battle here on this planet that is, of course, ascending, and that is being liberated by the galactic command, especially the Ashtar galactic command, the solar rishis. Those are the energies that I work with. Of course, there are the Arcturians, the Syrians, and of course the Andromedans, because the Andromeda is hosting the ascension. And here I am helping my soul group Starseeds, who ended up in Black Ops, those military covert operations, okay, who end up in those terroristic organizations. I mean, they were abducted, they were hybridized, they were tortured, they were raped, okay, and turned into digital avatars, right? There are Rosicrucians, there are Pleiadians, they're of that Celtic Druid lineages. They are Christos Templars, warriors in Christ, and unfortunately via all the CCP jets, right, with the chimera effect, and with the virus, with the CoV-19 with SARS, they were turned into, like I said, dark digital avatars, into computers, right? We talk about how their chakras, auras being actually computerized, demonized, weaponized, running reversals, right? And that's what they're involved in, activities that they would never do naturally, normally, okay? Because this been all perpetrated by those negative aliens. We talk about the Orion group, the Chimera group, the Arachnoids, right? The Archons, and pretty much the hybrid Anunnaki, fallen angelics, Draco, Zeta faction with the Omicron, and that's from the Visa system, another fallen matrix, parallel universes, the Visa deck, Visa Drake, okay? So this is very complex. It is cosmic, it is galactic, it is universal. We talk about the universal ascension. This is not for everybody. Again, only take what resonates with you, leave the rest. I do share lots of information from Lisa Renee, but it's because all the experiences, everything that I went through resonates with what I've really experienced, okay? Whether it's the men in black, right? All these psyops, all these abductions, whether it was from SSP, Secret Space Program, the Chimera Group, okay, the CIA, the three-letter agencies, okay, and of course we're dealing also here with the Mossad, the Zionists, under the kind of draconian, the Chimera Group, Orion Group, Black Dragon collectives, okay. They're in Asia, in China, okay, in Japan, of course. So this is very complex, deep. We have to understand energies, read energies from extremely high dimensions. We're dealing with black hole technology, and here in this universal time matrix, we are dealing with reversals from that 11 dimension, 10 dimension, right? Here the 10D. let me see, that's the Kabbalah Tree of Life, Artificial Tree of Life. Okay, so understanding these structures, I hope you guys you can see it, because I don't, yeah, it's kind of nice reflection here from the sun. And so pretty much studying these things, you know, was everything for me, an aha moment. I actually, as a teenager, I studied the Kabbalah with the Jewish Hebrew letters as a teenager in my country. Yeah, I used to be Czechoslovakia. I was reading books from that esoterica, mystica, that kind of metaphysical realm, right? From Karl Weinfurter, was Burning Bush, you know, The Alchemist from Paulo Coelho. There were other books from Madame Blavatsky, Miroslav Minarik, and of course, lots of books also about yoga, Ayurveda, and especially the autobiography of Yogi from Paramsa Yogananda. Okay, so this is the background that I come from. Yeah, this is the Solo Rishi kind of tradition, yoga, Ayurveda background. Last time we talked about the 8 branches of yoga. Okay, so this is kind of where I'm coming from, and this would help me to overcome and override the structure of the AI of that 10D of these draconian kind of fallen angelics, right? All these hybrid Anunnaki, kind of Gestapo Nazi faction, the Nazi occultism. Okay, so again, only take, like I said, only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Again, I just want to show you the fallen, this is the fallen Merkaba that I had to deal with. Okay, let me see. Right now I cannot see it, but that was the 10D overlays, okay, that we had to, oh, right here, 10D, oh yeah, this Imposter Elohim group, Kabbalistic demonology, right? So this is, that's if you want to be so-called, you know, Marine and so on. This is for the thought adjuster. That's why all these JAPs and all these so-called initiations, Illuminati parties, right? Black mass is happening, right? So they put you in that fallen tree of life, in that AI timelines, artificial timelines for that Armageddon software pestilence programming, right? I mean, of course, you can find these things, well, not in Bible, but that's pretty much a kind of Anunnaki history. Okay, we have to be very careful and differentiate these things. And anyway, this is my disclosure. Okay, and this is what resonates with me. And yeah, those guys then ended up in electrostatic bodies, right? Electrostatic bodies. Okay, tears, holes in their aura, energy field. Okay, disconnected from the earth. Okay, from Mother Earth, Mother Nature, right? I mean, everything drawn to second chakra. And of course, these energies, right, is being totally, their chakras, like I said, dismantled and put to places where they're not supposed to be because of that tilt in their staff. Okay, okay, embodied 3D fallen a tree, and this is the base shield tilted. Okay, 23.5 degrees. And so on, to that black star Abaddon, okay, and yeah, in the middle of the Milky Way. So so this is like I said, this is very complex. It's not for everybody, for my soul group. And today is kind of let me see what we're continuing, and this is the kind of the last portion of when we are reclaiming our body, Christos body. Also, we are reclaiming our Christos mission, right? That's the Palladian Covenant here. That's especially for me the recon mission with the Ashtar Galactic Command, working with Ashtar, of course, and with the Dramada, with Solar Rishis, with the Aurora races, with Dragon Luminaries. And then, of course, we talk about ending the abduction agreement. So it means we're talking about the alien AI. how important it is to understand all that and command your space and command your personal power and claim your power back. Okay, and how clearing of that negative ego is very important, and stay in your authority. Stand in your authority. Start understanding, remembering who you truly are, and how the ego, right, needs to drop. And that's how we liberate ourselves from that matrix, the mind matrix, from all this mind control and MK Ultra. Okay, and all these deceptions and all these lies that we had to go through. And we incurred soul damage and horrible personal isolation, right? But we talk about the empowering tools and how really the kingdom of heaven is within. We talk about the energeticsynthesis.com, crystalages.com, and I studied the essential glossary because it just takes me straight to the point, to the the universal ascension is just, like I said, we're going back to God, we're going back to cosmos, no more return, so I get a straight answer. Okay, and of course last time we talked about also the star seeds and conservation ethics. We talk about yoga, okay, like I said, the 8 branches of yoga, and how to stay clear of emotional tantrums and dramas, and not engaging, right, in all this drama and all this chaos that is actually happening now, because this is for the dark forces, perfect for the forces, dark ones. They use this drama and conflict, right, to instigate schism and chaos between ourselves and others, and then they're making us less effective, distracting us and scattering our energies. Okay, this is the dark force ego tactic, right? The ego then it turned into predator mind, where the houses of separation, all these addictions, all this greed, jealousy, avarice, gluttony, right? So we need to dismantle all that, or pay attention to that. It's important to acknowledge it, right? Accept it, and that's how we can release it and transform it. We heal ourselves, and that's how we transcend, ascend. Okay, because the negative ones, they're constantly spinning confusion, and they want to prevent unity. That's why I have the project for DARPA, Ashram for Marines, via the unity structure, SOPHIA structure. Okay, 6-pointed star. Again, I hope you guys see it here, with that 0-point divine neutrality, the golden sun, instead of we're dealing with the black sun and the Belial sun, right, with the CCP and so on. With the Chimera effect, that we're actually taking out Zionist Sophia codes from our DNA, because they were cloning us, right, or stealing it, counterfeiting it, copying it, and so on. And then they're plastering, like I said, the 10D fallen matrix around us, star seeds, right? And those guys then ended up in black ops. Of course, I had to have all this experience to pretty much understand what in the world is happening. And I had the resources and time to heal and to detect everything, to inspect everything, to analyze everything, and bring everything into divine order, into divine justice, and finally reassemble myself. Because to me, entering military, those guys get totally disassembled, right? They're in that fallen tree of life with the Baphomet field, all these sex addictions, right? All these sex games that are happening. They have these alien implants in their aura energy field, especially in their also genitals, right? And of course, with the Nazi Neuralink, the nanobots, right? It's formed the Nazi Neuralink in their brain, and they're just detecting those signals from the dark fleet, and they have to obey the order, right? Following the orders, they have to obey the command, and otherwise they get crucified. Okay, it's just the way it was kind of it was assembled. Okay, and so we are disassembling all that. Okay, so this is a good news, and that's why it's so important I talk about the 12D shielding. Why the 12D shielding is important? Because the negative ones, they do not have an access to that platinum light. Okay, that's your 12th dimension. How do I get these 12 dimensions? The tree of life. This is our original divine blueprint of our DNA, right? It's the 12 strands of DNA here. I hope again you guys can see it, right? And I always talk about recalibration of our chakras. Why? Because these are portals to those other dimensions, especially your heart chakra, and here between the 5th and 4th chakra you have the sacred heart. That's your AD. Those guys were running AD reversals. So the AI of the archons, the draconians, right? It overtook the consciousness of their body, right? And it damaged their hologram, their DNA, and they had bioneurology damage, right? And dissociation and the narcissism with the predator mind, okay? With all this false programming, it was all this horrible stuff. It was downloaded into their DNA, into their chakras, into their energy field. Okay, so how important. And of course, here we're here on a path of Mystica, the twin. There's a twin flame, right? Of that's the King Arthur and Queen Guinevere. Okay, sacred rose, right? So Ave Maria, Rosa Mystica, ora pro nobis. Gratias, right? So that's a Hail Mary, the mystical rose. Please pray for us. And this is, like I said, for the Marines here, we are resurrecting the entire hologram of the Marine Corps. Semper Fidelis, Spiritus Sanctus, CHRISTOS, SOPHIA, Maria, Magdalena, FATIMA, Aurora, PALLAS, ATHENA. Okay. And let me see what else I wanted to show you. So that's the king. That's the kingship arc. King Arthur and Queen Guinevere. They're all coming online. Okay, these are our parents, true parents of Holy Father, Holy Mother. Okay, they represent the Trinity, of course, and we are going back to our divinity, to our original divine blueprint. Okay, this is how we were designed. That's why recommending those guys, we're talking about the microcosmic orbit, right? How to channel the energies properly, very important. Okay, the divine feminine here, right? And the divine masculine, right? So there's pretty much on inhalation, right? These energies, how they flow along the spine, up the skull, across the skull, right? And here down the channel here, that's the divine feminine on exhalation. Okay, so start circulating these energies, activating the chakras, right? Because we want to exit here this is the back timeline loop. That's the past timeline loop, is inorganic alignment, right? And we want to go into the plasma, the positive alignment. Okay, again, I hope you can see it. So so, and of course, bifurcation of consciousness happening, or trifurcation of consciousness is happening, right? And it's going to be all about our frequency, vibration, and our choices that we make each and every day. Okay. So, and of course, we're aligning here with the Emerald Order, right? The Emerald Order, the Emerald Covenant, Cosmic Sovereign Law, here the 12D blueprint here. And the Emerald Order, so you can actually study all that stuff, right? We do have the guardians here, the crystal star. They're hosting this ascension, right? So again, I hope you can see all that, and bringing peace on earth. Okay, and this is our original DNA, right? Our original, also the quantum lotuses, crystal lotuses, the eternity. We are the eternal self. Okay, love, peace, unity, diamond body. This is our diamond body, diamond sun DNA, right? That's why with the nanobots, the black goo, those guys ended up in that, like I said, there's a black box programming, kill machine. There are sleepers, killers, right? This is all going to divine justice, because they were desecrating the negative ones, negative aliens, and then they are then masquerading like they're the gods. Okay. So, and that's where we need to go back to Holy Trinity, Holy Father, Holy Mother. Okay. So, and we do talk holographically. We work with sacred geometry, because those negative aliens, they're highly advanced, and they've been desecrating the geometry within our DNA, within our consciousness hologram, and of course they were distorting. Distorting, like I said, the diamond sun DNA, the diamonds, right? And putting all these nanobots, nanotechnology, all kinds of holographic inserts, implants, and SP, the parasite. Those are the parasite entities, right? The suppressor parasite entity, archonic, engineered entities. So that's why we're in a path of Rosa Mystica, normal that black Madonna, right? And here we are praying, of course, to Holy Mother. We are praying to Holy Mother, Divine Mother, of course. Okay, like the Ave Maria, Rosa Mystica, very important. And we're of course, like I said, activating the chakras here in the yoga tradition. Those are portals to other dimensions, right? You can see easy journey to other planets, right? So you know, activating our chakras, pretty much we are then become a portal of the eternal light, okay, cosmic light. That's our divine original blueprint. So and then of course that there was the star season conservation ethics we talked about last time, also about yoga, right? How important it is to conserve our energies so we get a stronger focus and we become much more effective and productive with managing our personal energies, okay? And that's how we can reconnect with our true self, with source, who we truly are. And this is the main purpose for me, to help my soul group remember who they truly are, reconnect with their inner Christ, inner Christos, okay, and start dismantling the negative ego, the predator mind, and liberate themselves from that fallen tree of life, from that AI timeline, okay, matrix, the false reality computer simulation. Of course, they have all kinds of implants, you know, from those aliens, and of course the implants, behavior profile, you know, it's with all this addiction, psychopathy, pathology, right? This is of course being kind of acknowledged on that physical plane, but why is it happening? It's just because of you know, it comes from the energy, it comes from that fallen tree of life, from that Nephilim universal grid, from that black magic grid, from that Nibirum electrostatic transduction. It comes from what else did I Nephilim universal grid, the black Madonna, right? And so we have to look at it energetically, okay? So from the Belial Sun, the Anunnaki agenda that we've been dealing with, of course, with the together with the Black Sun Draconian agenda, right? And those guys were then turned into Luciferian Knights Templar, and you know, their so-called secret societies, and so on. And yeah, those are the Nibiruan, Nephilim, Orion group, Luciferian kind of faction, right? And so this is what we are exposing. So alien implant removal module, so all victimizer, mind control programs, mind slides, and alien abduction trackers and locators can ultimately be cleared and healed through soul fiber and nadial plexus repair. Nadis, that's the back of the heart chakra, right? Let me see, I may not have it here with me. I may have it, the nadi structure. Let me see, because there's just so much information here. And then yeah, so like I said, they are playing with our sacred geometry, right? The nadi structure, that's actually your central nervous system on that etheric plane, etheric webbing, right? And I talk about how they also follow the cerebrospinal fluid to make clone or dark digital avatar. Okay, so this all happened to me. So this is actually coming from direct experiences. And so we can heal all that, okay? The nadis, they can be repaired, right? Command your space, claim your power back, to reorganize the central nervous system, okay? Since the person is his or her most powerful healer. And this information provided here, that's on, of course, energeticsynthesis.com, has been hidden from the masses. It created a block in healing and obstacles for many people. People do not understand the causation of mind control, abduction, dark possession, their byproducts like severe addiction and devastating trauma that are completely related to those negative aliens and their agenda. The negative alien agenda, the mind control agenda to abduct, control, or direct the personal soul's energies and other entity possession problems are promoted by this most harmful network. The human being's unaware submission and permission is what allows their body and consciousness to be unknowingly accessed by the mind control system through sprays of alien implants, right? We've been sprayed here, also human population as well. And that's why informed consent. That's why it's so important to understand the agenda, to acknowledge the darkness, to see it for what it is in order to dismantle it, to release it. For these reasons, the alien implant module is being released publicly by the Guardians this spring equinox of 2013. on Lisa Rene website. That's energetic synthesis under the HIEROS GAMOS. So we talk about the HIEROS GAMOS, the inner balancing, sacred marriage, divine union. Okay. So, and very important, right? There are instructions on calibration. Has to be dealt with patience and perseverance for the most accurate and protected support in self-clearing and applying conscious intent for positive frequency alteration. Of course, here we're advised to treat this responsible and with care. Lots of people actually endured incredible obstacles and lots of attacks. Okay, I know it from my own direct experiences. So how important is not to submit to mind control system and alien implants, right? We need to shake it off like ticks or like parasites, like fleas, right? So that's why the inner core, how to be inner sustained, inner directed, conserving our energies. We talked about the yoga last time, okay? The 8 branches, 8 steps of yoga. So, and align with the law of one and with the Galactic Codex. So now we have the informed awareness and power within, right? It's power to be aware and deflect these insidious and destructive behaviors and reclaim our personal sovereignty. Okay, so here what the community essential, that's the energetic synthesis is the recommending also via the Crystal Ages tools, crystalages.com. I will leave the link below, of course, is a spiritual centering model. Okay, so I wanted to show you this here. The antidote to mind control is psycho-emotional centering. Okay, so this is again psycho-emotional centering. So what we see here in the middle is the centering of your spiritual self, right? Inner self, inner Christos, right? And so these are pretty much a stay out of the box, right? How important this. And here we have to balance the superior thinking, right, with the inferior thinking here, with these positive affirmations and loving energies and Christ consciousness, right? Walking with God, with Christ, of course, with Holy Mother, Divine Mother. So it is, of course, being simple, humble, right? That's part of self-mastery and also mastering relationships, right? Non-judgment, how important is not to be in that judgmental mode, right? Or complaining, judging, categorizing, okay? So we have to allow, let go, let God, detach, non-attachment, how important is to also surrender. We talk about those, the last step in yoga, right? The surrendering to God, to source, to divine, right? To our spiritual self. And that's where we are centering ourselves, right? How to be in peace and harmony with ourselves, with the environment, with Mother Earth, Mother Nature. The Yoga Ayurveda is a perfect example, right? That's the teachings, this art and science, Yoga Ayurveda from the Solar Rishis, okay? And that's how we bring ourselves back into unity, synchronization, eternity, right? How to really be, compassionate, right? The compassionate witnessing, non-attachment, and the cooperation, co-creation with the divine. That's the Emerald Order, equality. How to forgive, right? So the heart needs to soften. We need to heal our heart. Very important. And having faith and trust. That's the 5D protocol from Telos, right? Walking those energies of love and faith and trust and grace and gratitude and compassion. Okay? And I, of course, talk about self-love. How important is to start loving ourselves no matter what. Okay, if there's obstacle, if there's again the energies of hatred, rage, whatever it's coming online, give yourself extra love, extra hug. Okay, so then you can integrate all the pieces back together, going back to your spiritual self, right? Your divine heart, sacred heart. Okay, and we're balancing these energies, yin and yang, also within us, the divine feminine merging with the divine masculine in Namaste. Within our sacred heart, and commanding our space and claiming our power back, right? So command your space, claim your power back, and how to raise your self-esteem, self-confidence. Also start believing in yourself while loving yourself unconditionally. Okay, so that's again Lisa Rene's, of course, website. So this is a beautiful example how to, like I said, heal from that mind control. This is the antidote, right? It's called psycho-emotional centering. Okay, this is what this is how we are healing ourselves from that 10D running reversals, right? That string reversals of the archons, okay, of that inorganic faction, those AI timelines. It was plastered over our consciousness, over starseeds. Starseeds now, they're in black ops, they're black magicians, right? Instead of being Christos Templars, Essene Templars, instead of being the spiritual warriors, defenders of truth and divine justice, they were turned into Luciferian Templars, Night Templars, into digital avatars, into also clones and drones, into automatons. So the spiritual self-centering, right? Very important. The practice of law of one principle. We can talk about it next time. We can talk about the relationship mastery guidelines, okay? And also we'll talk about the HIEROS GAMOS system calibration, okay? So how important is being neutral, right? With engaged detachment, observing with compassionate witness, not taking things personally, and not allowing a mind control persons to wreak havoc with our center of peace. This is our full-time job now, okay? So as this skill increases, our body will be able to be freed from these automaton responses, from all these triggers. How important is to watch our triggers, right? Write things down, PTSD, time to heal, and so on. And so we need to liberate ourselves also from those fears generated from these ego filters, right? Dropping the ego. Man minus ego equals God. And freeing ourselves from the mind control programs and alien implants. Okay? So this is through the application of personal sovereignty and the tools that are on Ascension Glossary. There are on energetic synthesis, on also on the Crystal Ages, and of course on my website yanakalai.com. We'll be able to free ourselves from captivity and enslavement in every dimension. Remember, we're multidimensional beings, okay? And so this HIEROS GAMOS system is designed to support this problem with the elemental body corruption that happened on 3D with the black goo, with parasites, right? Fluoride in the water, okay? And GMO, okay? All these horrible chemicals, or chemtrails spraying, right? Horrible chemicals in every product you can imagine, especially in our food. Also horrible chemicals in the soil, in the air, in the water. Of course, the elemental kingdom, right? That's the Aurora re-encryption. The Aurora, the Andromeda, the crystal star family are helping us with all this purification. So being in nature, going to the beach, okay, the holy water, okay, bathing in these energies of love and faith and trust and grace and gratitude, of course, walking in these energies. And so that's the re-encryption of certain bodily matrices to be elevated into the Aurora, or the avatar of ascension elemental substances. So, and again, it kind of applies to me. We work with the planet Earth architecture. We're helping to, of course, we were helping to repair the grid, right? The diamond sun grid, the golden Christ Templar, and so on, right? Also for our repairing for our individual bodies. So yeah, let me quickly show you again the golden Christ Templar, all these repairmen that are happening, right? On a personal level, the body level, and so on. Okay, so we have the golden Christ Templar, okay, recoding, okay, the new Kathara grid with the golden sun DNA, okay, from the seraphim, from Elohim. Okay, we talk about also about the Trinity. This is the triquetra Celtic symbol, right? That's the encircled Trinity, the universal threefold founder flame. Of course, we are resurrecting also Fleur-de-Lis. So whether that's the triquesta, Fleur-de-Lis, and so on, the Trinity, this is all being now reassembled. This is all being resurrected. These energies are coming back online. Those are natural cycles of Mother Earth, right? The beginning and end in time. All this interconnectedness. Remember, we are all one. We are all interconnected. Okay. That's why the unity is so important. It would understand the unity consciousness, Christos Sophia consciousness, right? Christ Sophia, the divine masculine merging with the divine feminine. And yeah, so this is what we are healing ourselves, right? This healing our sexuality, that's the orange, right? Become the golden light. So you can imagine being surrounded by the golden liquid crystal platinum diamond light energies. Okay, so healing your sexuality, sexual organs. And of course we are also for my group star seeds, you know, yeah, from the Ashtar family, we're also healing our first chakra, the Muladhara, right? So all this, there was AI red frequency, everything's been weaponized, right? All this fear-based consciousness, this is all coming from that our chakras been weaponized and taken out, totally severed from Mother Earth, Mother Nature, right? It's all about the base, right? To anchor these energies of unconditional love, right? We have to have all chakras or the Kathara grid back online. Okay, so that's why we talk of the rehabilitation of our consciousness, right? Of our DNA, of our hologram, of that Kathara grid, because some of those guys, they are, like I said, they're Pleiadians, they're Rosicrucians, they're of that mother lineage, they are the Kathar lineage, and we are preserving the knowledge of the Kathara, of the Holy Mother, Divine Mother, Mother Sophia. Okay, so many blessings, namaste. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.